was raised in New York, finally settling down here in Northern California. He's won numerous awards, including first place in the Northern California Magic Competition in Oakland. He's performed his award-winning magic for notable organizations such as Hulu, Google, Cisco, Zimbabwe Bank, and Sheldon, Iowa's Soybean Days. And yes. And now, of course, here at the Magic Garage, it's been said that you can take Alan out of New York, but you can't take New York out of Alan. So please put your hands together for the honest cheat, Mr. Alan Lees.
Thank you, Sandra. Well, good evening. Good evening. We have someone with St. Patrick's Day, so I think that's really, really good. And as you heard, I'm from New York, and I'm not sure if you remember. Anybody else here from New York? Oh, wow, that's great. I mean, that's super. And in New York, you know, if it's a financial district, and they have lots of things with money. And the magicians there, you know, they start out with like $1, $2, $3, like $4 bills, right? So the question is, what can you do with $4 bills? And the answer is you can give them to your local magician. That's the best thing to do with them. But what magicians do is what they'll do is they'll just kind of do something like that, and they produce 20s. Now, oh, that's great, but there's one problem with that. And the problem is the magician then takes the bills and puts them in their pocket and keeps them. Now, my question is, why don't we give them to the audience? I mean, magicians are wealthy as it is. I mean, let's spread the wealth to people here. So with that said, I'd like to do that with somebody here. I really want to make them some money. So who has a $50 bill? We have someone with a $50 bill. Let's give him a hand as he comes down here. Absolutely. Come on down.
We can arrange something for you.
Okay, good. Okay. My name is Alan, and your name is?
Ron.
Ron, nice to meet you. Ron, say hi, Ron.
Hi,
Ron. $50 bill. Here, so let's see what you got. And what I did say is I'm going to increase the value. Okay, so
awesome.
could you put the your initials on the front of it, just in case you might see it again or something like that? Okay, so a $50 bill. Isn't that wonderful? So if I make it a 20, that wouldn't be so good, right? You could just cap it, stuff like that. So watch really carefully. I take your $50 bill and I fold it in half like that. Notice my fingers do not leave my hands, okay? Very important. I fold it like that, and I fold it like that. Could you blow on it? And with that, Ron will let me, yes he did, he said I can pass out $100. So Ron gets $100. Let's give him a hand for getting $100. This is for you. You can have a seat. Thank you very much. And oh, the other side has a little problem on it. Yeah, there's a little problem with the other side. But you were smiling, so I don't want to let it begin. There, just that's very good. Let's give Ron another hand for that. Yeah, that's right. That's for you. Don't worry. No, I insist. I haven't seen it. It's fine. I got 10 minutes. Let's keep going here. We'll come back, bro. Don't worry. We'll come back to you. We both know Sai. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a seat. Really, it'll be okay. I leave, and then the second guy comes up. Ron will forget about it. Yeah, so that's not funny, is it? Unless it's your bill. Don't worry, Ron. It's the 20 behind is in good hands. Okay, so moving right along. Las Vegas is known for illusions, right? Yeah. And oh, rope! You have a piece of rope there. Can I see that piece of rope? Did you try stretching it? You're part of the kids show, and they made you stretch it and all that kind of stuff. Stretch them, make sure they don't break. No magnets, hidden compartments, elevators, trapdoors, nothing like that. They all looked okay. And we also had a ring. Yeah, okay, thank you. We'll put a ring here. So, illusions. This is the illusion of the ropes. I take this long rope, the middle rope, and the short rope here. And as you see, they can stretch. So that is the illusion, ladies and gentlemen, of the ropes that they can stretch. So what we have is we have a piece here. We have these two pieces here, and of course we have the third piece in here. And that's how we can get ropes to be the same way. Thank you. And I know what you're saying. You're saying I have 3 ropes here. How in the world can I watch it when I only have 2 eyes? And that's a big problem, right? So what I can do is take down the one rope here, so I can end up with 2 ropes. And it's much easier to follow 2 ropes, isn't it? Isn't it? And it'll be then easier, of course, if we follow 1 rope, right? Okay. So 1 piece of rope. And we have a ring, and you examine the ring, and it was okay. Yep, it's okay. Okay. Now, the ring can go on the rope very easily, right? You put it through here. To make it harder, what I'm going to do is just tie up the ends like that, so we have a knot. Okay. Now, to get this ring to come through the knot is very difficult. However, if I take the knot and put it through the ring like that, it's much, much easier to get it to go onto the rope. And as you know what they say, if it goes on the rope, what must happen? Want to hold on to the ring?
It has to come off.
It has to come off, exactly right. And it should come off the rope like that. Now, a good magician or a great magician wouldn't do it that way. He would just do it with one hand and just kind of throw it and then cause the rope to come back on. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying it must be the knot, right? But it's not the knot that's doing magic. What it is the ends of the rope. Because the ends of the rope is where all the magic happens. So if I take the ends like that, can you blow on it? That's it. It's much easier to take the ends off the rope. Okay, so to take the rope then and to pass it on when there's no hole or no ends is impossible in order to make that happen. I know, now I have to get the rope off and I can't do that without my ends. You want to hold out your hand? That's it. That's it. Perfect. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is put this like that. Now watch the ends. Here, watch the ends. Did you blow on it again? You did really well last time. Perfect. So what happens is the ends come back on the rope. So ladies and gentlemen, what I'm using is a piece of rope with a ring, 2 pieces of rope, and of course I was using a 3rd piece of rope, right? And you remember way back when, what I was using before? I was using a middle-sized piece. I was using a really, really long piece. Whoops. And of course, I was using a short piece of rope. The illusion of the 3 ropes and the ring. Okay, so moving to the Bay Area now. We've seen some Las Vegas type things. We've seen some New York. Here we have a lot of high-tech industry. And there's a company called eCarta. I don't know if you've heard it. And one of the big things they're working on, like Facebook, et cetera, is why can't we take pictures and develop them on blank pieces of paper? And why don't we use the mind in order to make that happen? I mean, why do we have to use cameras, right? I mean, cameras are old-fashioned. I mean, they're really old-fashioned, old ways of doing it. So I need a deck of cards, and that's going to represent some documents. And you said you have a deck of cards, and I haven't handled them or stuff like that, and you can just look at them. You want to take them out of the box? If you want to take them out of the container there and mix them up. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, mix up the cards and things like that. You're doing that really well here. And your name is?
Joanne.
Joanne. Say hi, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Okay, Joanne, we have a mixed deck of cards, and I haven't seen them. And your name is?
Roger.
Roger. And if you can all just take a look at it here, I don't want you to think I'm cheating or something like that. Do they all look?
You see those cards? Yeah.
Joanne, right?
They look.
Okay. They all look okay to you? Mm-hmm. That's the way they come from a factory. Different. So what we're going to do is have you, we're going to have you take a picture of a card.
Okay.
And that's going to represent a document.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is try to develop that. That sound okay?
Go like this.
For your mind, whatever turns your mind on really quickly, you know, that's fine. But you know, it doesn't really matter. So what I want to do is I'm just going to go through and you say stop someplace.
Stop.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we can take this card or the next card, whichever you want.
That one.
Okay, why don't you take the card, look at it. I'm going to turn around, show it to everybody, and sit on it.
I have to show it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you're sitting on a card, and I have these pieces of paper. And what we're going to do is develop your card on these pieces of paper. You remember what your card is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece in here. You can also see these pieces of paper. He's here, he's here, he's here. So I just want you to touch one of those pieces of paper. That one here, and I need one more. Okay, so when Joanne comes back here, she's gonna, everybody's gonna leave, she's gonna be in the back here. She's gonna sell the ability for $50 a piece. So go see Joanne, she's gonna take this paper and develop cards for you.
Okay.
Is that okay? $50 a piece? Okay. Better than his 20. Okay, so what I need you to do is hold out your hand and put your other hand on top of this. Okay. I want you to look at me. My hat, my outfit. Picture your card in here. Okay? Remember your card?
I think. Do we remember the card?
I want you to look at the card here and visualize it. Okay, it's because I want you to get a good visual picture of me in the card here, okay? And when you got a picture of it, blink your eyes. She blinked her eyes. That means she actually took a picture of the card. Okay, could you stand up and could you reach under her and pick up that card? Let's see what it was. It was the 7 of spades. Lift up your left hand. And if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, the 7 of spades is the card. So this is for you. I can sign a little bit later. Make sure if people want to see it, they can see it. Make sure it's not, rub off or something like that. The good news is, in about 2 hours, it's going to disappear. Close your eyes, think of another card, blink, and it'll turn into that card.
Can I give it to?
Absolutely. But you have to do that in 2 hours too.
Oh,
If that's okay.
okay. So remember in 2 hours. What time will it be in 2 hours?
Okay, I'm going to pass this back to that gentleman since this is his deck. And that's the end of my set. I hope everybody liked it.
Awesome.
I forgot something. What did I forget? Oh, that $20 bill.
Yeah.
Oh, well, why don't you come back down here? Yeah. Wait. You were holding something for her. Why don't you bring that up too?
Wasn't it a 50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
It was 50.
I remember 100 too.
Will allowed me to give the genuine imitation bill. They didn't really give me money for the other things. However, we do have a present for you.
Okay.
Does somebody have a bag with something in it?
Oh.
A bag with something in it. Okay. So we have a bag in here with something in it. That's in case you don't like it. So the question is, will you trade that genuine imitation bill for what's in here?
Sure.
You were too quick on that. You were okay, that's much better.
Okay, twist my arm.
I'm going to open it up and look what we have in here. We have a lemon. So you still want to trade that bill for that lemon? Why don't you put this in your hand? Take the bill, the lemon. I'm going to cut it. Watch really carefully. Make sure I'm cutting it okay. Everybody can see okay? I don't want to move too fast. I'm just going to split it open, and I'm going to show there's something embedded in there. Do you see it?
No.
Let me pass it around here so you can all see. Do you see that?
It's a worm.
Doesn't look like a worm. I'll have to get to the other side too.
I didn't see it.
It's like a big,
Who said that?
it's a big chunk of something.
I don't know. Does it look like a dollar bill? Can you reach in there and pull that out then? Good. And we'll give it to this gentleman. Or why don't you give it to him? I don't want it. Open it. And just open that up, please. And what we have is we have a $50 bill with your initials on it. So, I know you didn't want to leave me, but you now get a genuine scented dollar bill that's signed, and you get a genuine imitation bill, and all this applause.